So I've been in Conklin for about 4.5 years. I was in the car industry, in the sales industry before I was in Conklin. And I got to talking with Kevin, my sponsor, and Andy, my director. I decided to pray about it. My wife and I spent a little bit of time praying. We decided to go to CBS. And then for about 2 months after that, my sales numbers drastically fell in the car industry. I always say be very careful about what you pray for, because you might not like the sign that the good Lord gives you. So we decided to take a leap of faith. We put in our notice, packed up our stuff, and moved to Sedalia, Missouri to be a little bit closer to our upline so we could learn how to install Conklin roofing systems from the ground up. We get up there and we had some challenges. My wife was in college at the time and she was working a full-time job. We ended up not getting as much work as we anticipated right off the bat. Shortly thereafter, my wife was, like I said, in college. She was working at a nursing home. Shortly thereafter, I wasn't seeing the success that I anticipated, so I started delivering pizzas. And shortly after that, that wasn't making the cut. It was delivering pizzas and waiting tables. My week typically looked like I would wake up and make some cold calls, try to sell a roof, do any sort of follow-ups I had to do in the morning time, and then from about 11 to 5 or 6 at night, I would be either delivering pizzas or waiting tables, and whichever one I was not doing, I was doing shortly after until about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I would go home, rinse and repeat, all while trying to get our Conklin roofing business up off the ground. It was a pretty long stretch of months, eating ramen noodles and some pizza leftovers from Domino's, so I sure don't miss that part. However, it wasn't until my first year, my director actually paid every penny of my entry fee to get into National Convention and Spring Roofing Seminar in Indiana that year, and that was really when everything clicked. I remember sitting there and just listening to all the people like Ben Schlaball, Verl Yoder, listening to everybody's testimony up on the stage at Spring Roofing Seminar and National Convention. And that's when everything started to click. I figured out I needed to make a goal, but a goal was simply a dream unless you had a plan in order to get there. And that's when a lot of it started to click. So when we got home, I sat down with my director. We wrote out a list of several goals, some rather simple, like make my first dollar as a business. And then we decided to make a plan to get there. We started cold calling, and I quickly realized that the fortune is in the follow-up, and that's really what helped me the most. And my first year, we ended up getting our feet off the ground. It just took us about 13 months and 7 days from signing up with Conklin to make our first dollar. But once we started out, then it was really no turning back. We've been preferred contractor 2 times now in 4.5 years. And Conklin's gave us some financial freedom. My wife and I are both 25. We own our house. We get to travel the world. We get to go to Conklin events, and we get to be a light for the Lord. We get to help people out in hard times. We get to help our community. We get to be there for family and friends. And it's really changed our life for the better, because now we're able to have a more positive impact on our community and our family. And I just don't know where we'd be today without Conklin.